All right, I'm back. So it's now 4:50 p.m. and so after I found out the truth, believe it or not, true Christians don't celebrate Christmas, and it's a satanic pagan holiday supposedly invented by Emperor Constantine in the Catholic Church and stuff like that. And believe it or not, the Catholic Church is not real Christian. So I've done my research on it. Please do your research on it and don't attack me. Um, but when I heard that Christmas and Easter and certain other holidays are pagan and satanic, so it's like I don't know. I've heard people say that birthdays are Luciferian self worship for a day. So and, you try hard to not feel left out and stuff like that, but I've had to spend numerous holidays alone even before I found out the truth. So I apologize if y'all feel offended or feel like I'm crazy for saying what I just said. But look from a Christian point of view why Christmas is pagan and satanic, and I've heard people even say that Santa Claus is a pedophile and that his elves are demons. And Santa Claus is actually Satan Claus. Santa is an anagram for Satan. So and Easter has to do with paganism too. And the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, speaks out against Christmas, especially Jeremiah 10 and 2 and stuff like that. And certain scriptures in the Bible speak out against Christmas. Y'all can research it for yourselves. So this topic, I want to talk about health. My personal, my health. Well, I feel like I can't call it a journey since I kind of relapsed. Relapse is a secular term for Christian backsliding. I mean backsliding. But like if you go back to your old ways or whatever. But I didn't fully relapse, but I'm trying to slowly try to go back to the healthier way of eating. But I have been researching a little bit, feeling curious about. I heard it's pronounced mukbang or something. If y'all know what I'm talking about, Mukbang, and it supposedly originated in South Korea, and people get paid a lot of money. They get paid a lot of money to do videos of themselves eating a whole bunch of food, and then they get paid a lot of money to do that. But me, I'm not the type of person to sacrifice my, make myself feel uncomfortable and tortured for more money. I mean, that's why I could never prostitute, because if I had to prostitute, I couldn't do it because I would rather feel comfortable and broke than rich and tortured. But I'm already being tortured and poor, but I would rather be less tortured. Um, I wouldn't want a whole bunch of penises stuck inside of me, all night, every night. I don't care how rich I get. I mean, I don't care how much rich you want to pay me. Can't do it. Um, and I don't care how cute the guy is or how cute the guys are. I don't want to be tortured in exchange for money. So it's like the mukbang and gluttony or whatever is self-torture in exchange for money. And I mean, I have a, you know, I don't know where do I start. So, but wait a minute now. I've heard people sell their soul to the devil just to become a YouTube mukbang star. And so people would call me greedy throughout my life just to be mean, not because they care about my soul. And, you're not going to call me greedy, because you care about my soul and don't want me in hell, you know. But, um, okay. So I'm not going to write a book on it. I'll just do a YouTube video about it. Um, so I, ever since, when I was a little kid, you used to have to make me eat my food. Little kids, you waste your food. I never really heard of a greedy kid, a greedy baby, you know, but ignorant Project Ghetto people would call a newborn baby fresh out the womb greedy. I'm like, well, how the hell you call a newborn baby greedy? Babies, they need to eat. I mean, so to me, that's not fair to call a 2-day old baby greedy. But I've seen ghetto people do that. You want to call your baby greedy. And so, you know, remember when I told y'all that the foster mom used to force us to eat out the garbage at 3 years old? Soggy frosted flakes. I mean, not frosted flakes. It would be corn flakes. Soggy raisin bran. The foster mom used to, if I throw it, because I threw it away or wasted it. But when it comes to her grandkids, her biological grandkids, she didn't subject them to that treatment. They didn't have. If I'd be like, well, Mom, Juju didn't want to eat all his Fruit Loops. Oh, he don't have to eat. He don't have to eat them all. Leave him alone. You didn't say that when we were 3 years old. Till this day, if I had a choice, I still will not touch Raisin Bran. I will not buy Raisin Bran if I don't, you know, I won't buy Raisin Bran. I will not eat Raisin Bran. I will not eat or buy Corn Flakes. But I buy Frosted Flakes. No Corn Flakes. Well, yeah, because the Frosted Flakes, the sugar on the Frosted Flakes help, it takes longer to get soggy. So, and I'm a grown adult now. I can eat it quickly. So, even when I was, me and my twin sister, even when we were little, we used to have food experiments like putting a whole bunch of putting a whole bunch of ketchup, um, put a whole bunch of ketchup on our mashed potatoes, and then don't eat it all and get in trouble for it when we were 4 years old. And I remember being 6 years old, um, 6 and 7 years old, eating those ramen noodles. What we used to call it ramen noodles, but I guess it's called ramen noodles and stuff like that. And I, I still used to not eat all my food, when I was little. And I think they put us on psych meds since I don't remember if I was in kindergarten or first grade when they put us on psych meds. And I think kindergarten and first grade, I think it was the sweet chewable tablets. And then by the second grade, we had where they forced us to take tablets that you have to swallow, not chewable. And then third grade was capsules. Excuse me. And it used to be very hard for me to swallow the big, huge capsules of medicine. Um, and you know, I guess there were moments when being neglected by the foster family as well. Because how else was I able? I mean, all the times we used to swallow marbles and poop it out the next day. We thought it was cool. We were 5 years old. Me and my twin sister, and we thought it was cool to swallow marbles the next day. We thought it was cool to swallow marbles and then poop it out the next day. But we didn't realize the dangers of that because the marbles they were smooth, and we never ended up in the hospital from the marbles. But I think one time I was little, I somewhat remember it, but then again I don't. I remember being like 2 or 3 years old and I flushed a teddy bear down the toilet, and the foster sister Joni said that I ate M&Ms out the toilet when I was little. But I don't remember. I don't think I remember that. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry, but we had a strange childhood, and some people say that we were ritualistically abused, with the being forced to eat out the garbage cans and sleep outside at 3 years old, and having weird shit happen to us, like us levitating up in the air and stuff, and being in a cult and stuff like that. So, um, I didn't realize that that was witchcraft done on us. And so, some people say it was MK Ultra and witchcraft and mind control of why me and my twin sister grew up to not get along, you know. And so, um, then, all right, I was 8 years old and still, let me back up. I think from first grade through sometime in fourth grade, um, I used to be more skinny at that time, and I used to be the type to waste my food. And it was, the teachers used to punish us, like this obese teacher. She was a teacher's assistant named Miss Coleman, and Miss Coleman had, she would not let you get up to go to recess unless you ate all your food. And sometimes I would have moments when I would cry because I didn't want to eat. I mean, well, certain foods was nasty. Like, I still till this day do not like whipped cream. So I never liked or tolerated whipped cream or sour cream. I hate whipped cream and I hate sour cream. So um now, I can choose what I want to eat. I don't have to eat sour. Nobody gonna sit down and force me to make me to eat what I don't want to eat. Well, they try that with you in homeless shelters. You know, so Miss Coleman used whatever it is that you didn't want to eat. Like, I remember they would have this wheat bread because I hate wheat bread as well. So they try to force me to eat the wheat bread pizza, and I didn't want to eat the pizza because I don't like wheat bread, and I still hate wheat bread. But foods like okra, I used to hate okra when I was little, but now I love it. I used to hate onions when I was little, but now, well, I'll tolerate onions, but I don't love them. And so I realized certain health benefits of certain things, certain foods. And so I still hate stewed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, fresh and raw tomatoes, unless it's juiced. The only way I like tomatoes is if it's juiced or pureed. Or, you know, I used to hate ketchup when I was when I was younger, and and I still would choose barbecue sauce over tomatoes in my you know, in my you know, I used to hate fries when I was younger. When I was a kid too, I used to hate fries, but now I only like fries if they're fresh and hot. And I still don't too much like hash browns. I don't really like hash browns. Um, but I know it's still potato, but I just don't like hash browns. But I like fries. Now I like fries when they're fresh and hot. And so I don't like just any fries either. Like I like thick fries, like steak fries and stuff, like or potato wedges. I don't know, I'm just weird. So, certain foods I hated or didn't like when I was a child, I grew up to like. I used to hate blueberries and strawberries when I was little, but now I like them only either fresh, juiced, or in a smoothie. I don't like strawberry flavored this or like strawberry flavored ice cream, or I don't like blueberry cobbler. You ain't gonna catch me eating blueberry cobbler or blueberry muffins. I don't like that. So well, Miss Coleman and other times there were other teachers who would punish you for not eating all your food at lunch, and um they used to give us white milk at McDonough 26 elementary school, and I used to want chocolate milk, but they used to give us the white milk used to be room temperature and kind of sour, and they used to force us to drink it anyway. In kindergarten, they used to feed us like a hot lunch. I don't remember about breakfast in kindergarten, but they used to feed us a hot lunch, and every day, the cafeteria used to smell like hamburgers and ketchup. And I used to always wonder why only a hot lunch, no hamburger, no ketchup. So in elementary school, they used to feed us a hot lunch, and I think only fourth through sixth grade got to have the salad bar, but the little kids couldn't have the salad bar, and only the little kids weren't allowed to have chocolate milk, but they had only white milk, and then you only get chocolate milk on Fridays. And they used to have this big white boy. His name was Brad Floyd, and he would hover over the milk and tell us, "You can't get chocolate. You can't get chocolate." So, and we used to try to grab for the chocolate anyway. And so, in the cafeteria, ladies, uh, when I was in third grade, they used to have the boys. Used to tell how, shucks, since it's Christmas Day, Macaulay Culkin in that Home Alone movie talking about your filthy animal, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, or something. So those boys used to tell, uh, I guess I used to copy off what the boys did because I was the only girl in the class for several years in special ed, and they used to be like, $2.99, you filthy animal, or something like that, and I copied off of them. But I shouldn't have done that. I was a kid too. I was a cuckoo kid. But they used to have a lady named Miss Gwen, and she had wavy hair, and she would hug us and say, "Oh, bless the Lord." So I remember yeah, because that teacher assistant Miss Coleman, she was the cafeteria monitor. The teacher assistant Miss Coleman, and so Also, I mean, keep in mind she was obese herself. She would never let a kid get away with, and that was no excuse. She would not. You never had any excuse to waste food. So when I was determined to want to go to recess that day, and she would keep you at lunch and would not let you leave unless all your food was eaten. I'm like, but I can't, I don't like, eat no freaking whipped cream on my Jello. And so she tried to sing a little song and then wipe the Jello off and stuff like that. And so she finally, let me get away with it that day. I don't like Jello on my whipped cream. I mean, no, it's the other way around. I don't like whipped cream on my Jello. So then if I don't like whipped cream on my Jello, I hardly eat Jello nowadays anyway. I don't care about Jello no more. So I remember this lady named is Beverly, one of the cafeteria ladies. And she used to be like, "What you want, boo? What you want, boo? What you want, boo?" Like she said, "What you want, boo? Like, what do you want, boo? Like, what you want, boo? What you want, boo? What you want, boo? What you want, boo?" I can't say it the way she said, but she said it real fast. "What you want, boo? What you want, boo? What you want, boo?" So that's Miss Beverly. So they used to feed us, decent. Oh, and one thing they used to have this little French toast loaf that they used to feed us in first grade, first and second grade, and another time they used to feed us this breakfast pizza. It was so good, and they stopped serving that. And then seventh grade was the last time they had those good ass burritos. I love those too. So anyway, um, I used to be skinny, and then I got a certain age, 9 years old, in fourth grade. I think my weight started to pick up. I thought started to gain a little more weight, but I was never a fat, not super fat in elementary school like that. I was a little big in sixth grade, but in ninth grade, I'm sorry, 9 years old in fourth grade, I was still, skinny, and everybody thought I looked older. My body started developing faster. I remember I was 8 years old in third grade, and um, they ran some medical tests on me to see why my body was developing so fast. And um, well, I remember the procedure was was forced to fast the night before, and then drink a whole bunch of water, and fast and eat nothing but just drink a whole bunch of water, and force myself to hold my pee in, my urine inside while I'm forced to drink a whole bunch of water. And then while they're doing ultrasound on me. And I don't ever want to have to experience anything like that in my life again. And so, I've dealt with with all those damn surgeries and medical procedures, this and that. Shucks, I had a lot of medical trauma, and dentistry included, and eye doctor included. But that's a different topic. So I was 7 years old in second grade and had strep throat. And they said that if you have strep throat by the time you're 7 years old, um, you have this thing called pandas. And I don't remember what it stands for. Let me see what it stands for. Um, pandas. Yeah, what does pandas stand for? Pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders associated with streptococcal infections. A child may be diagnosed with pandas when obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, tic disorder, or both. And Tourette's too. Yeah, tic disorder is Tourette's. Uh, suddenly appear following a streptococcal infection such as strep throat or scarlet fever. And guess what? I had both when I was 7 years old. And the biological gay brother Mark, he bragged, I mean, because they used to do cruel stuff to us when we were little. And then we picked that up. And then I remember when I said I didn't want to be an abuser anymore. So, you know, if I would physically assault another child, because that I didn't know that I was doing all these crazy things because of what happened to me. But once I realized, I didn't want to do that kind of stuff no more. But I don't have any memory of me being a child and being molested as a child, but I do remember the beatings. But I never molested a child. So, I used to hit on other kids when I was a kid and teenager and stuff. But I got a certain age in adulthood and said, I didn't want to hit kids anymore. And, I want to break the cycle of being an abuser. Well, I was trying to see, hoping that no crazy, whatever. But anyway, so I didn't want to continue to be like what happened to me, because I feel like it's unfair to hurt innocent people who've done you nothing. So when Mark, he burned my leg when I was 7 years old, purposely burned my leg and did other cruel stuff. And, a lot of other, well, Mark was the biological brother, but a lot of people in foster care, done me, abusive stuff, and my twin sister. And so, kindergarten teachers locking us up in small janitorial closet. So, Mark burned my leg when I was 7 years old. I still have the scars on my thigh, the top of my left thigh. And, he, he also, I think they got mad at me for telling on them about something. I don't even remember what it was that I told on them about. But, they were bullying me and teasing me and stuff. So, well, Mark arrogantly bragged and boasted and laughed about, he bragged and laughed about, putting a whole bunch of cayenne pepper in the food. And that's how I ended up with, what they say that's how I ended up with scarlet fever. But I didn't know that. I heard it is common for other 5 and even 6-year-old kids to put things in their mouths and stuff like that. So I used to do it more than once. I think I ate Sean's medicine because it was chewable and sweet, and I thought it tastes like, I thought it was like sweet tarts. So that's what I thought it was, and I'm like, oh, these taste better than sweet tarts. Well, I was 5 years old in kindergarten, and I some kind of way climbed up on top of the shelf, and I overdosed on Sean's medicine, and I ended up having 2 strokes when I was 5. But people would use that to try to make it like as if it was my own fault. Like, oh no, she's just saying that to try to get more pity and sympathy and attention. Like as if, I'm not trying to get pity, sympathy, or attention. I did have 2 strokes when I was 5. But, and again, they ain't going to blame the foster parents. But nobody was around if I was by myself. And I remember being 7 years old, and numerous times, if I would be suspended from school, everybody else is gone, and I'm just in the house by myself all day. And I don't even, I don't even remember feeling hungry, or I don't remember moments of, I don't know how at 7 years old I was smart enough to not leave the house. But I've had moments of being in the house all day by myself. And when we were 9 years old, I first learned to boil my own noodles on the stove. I was, I think, 6 or 7 years old. the foster mom had her fake moment when she once tried to teach us how to cook, and she would only did it for a short time period of time. Allow us to pick what we wanted to pick our favorite dish to eat, and then um, you know she would pick out. She would have us pick out our favorite dish to eat, but that didn't last long at all. And I remember because I used to love pork and beans, and I still love pork and beans and rice. Pork and beans and rice. And back then, I used to not mind hot dog wieners. I used to prefer hot dog wieners over sausage in my pork and beans. But now I prefer sausage and not pork and beans in my. I mean, sausage and not wieners in my pork and beans. So and I don't like bacon. I mean, I prefer no bacon. But for the past several months, I was eating bacon, but I want to be able to try to stop eating processed meat as well, like bacon, sausage, and all that. But it usually comes with the breakfast. So when I go to Waffle House, I try to strive for ham instead of bacon or sausage. But anyway, where was I? So okay, I forgot what I was. Oh man, I hate this. But anyway, I forgot how I got on the topic about. But anyway, so well, the I remember we were 9 years old in fourth grade. And I was trying to say with the when I had the two strokes when I was 5, they didn't question the foster mom about child neglect. Um, how else was I able to get into those pills? So and I remember I bust my head wide open when I was 2 years old. But so you know, and I remember I was 9 years old in fourth grade, and the foster brother Joe, the woman and child beater, when I came, I mean he came, he got out of the Navy for good, and it was a Sunday morning, nobody was home, so I took it upon myself to cook my own eggs. Oh, now I remember. But let me finish telling this story. I took it upon myself to cook my own eggs. And so I cooked my own eggs, thought nobody was home. And then the foster brother Joe come in the kitchen and he saw me. And that was the first beating experience I ever had from him after he got out of the military. But, he just used to whip us with a belt when we were little. But like 4 years old, he used to whip us with a belt. But a beating like that, not from him. Wow, like beat me like a street nigga. And then later on that day, we try to cook our own food. If I was 9 and Joni was 13, well, me and my twin sister, we were 9 and Joni and Wyatt were 13. And that day we were later on in the experimenting on cooking food in the kitchen. And Joe beat everybody up that later on that afternoon, and he stomped on Joni's toes and got mad at her. So that was one of the first of the beatings that Joe gave us. And one time, we were little, and Joe can blast loud TV and music whenever he wants. Well, he got mad at Brandy, and we were 9 years old, and or were we 10? No, I think we were 9 years old, and he beat her up, busted her lip, and gave her a black eye because she refused to turn down the TV. But he played loud TV. So anyway, I remember now. Back to the story. When I was 8 years old in third grade, and the foster mom had me. She trying to act like she was trying to show me how to make pork and beans and rice and stuff. And she's like, "You should clean up as you cook." The foster mom hardly cooked. Guess who? Everybody in the house did the cooking except her. And then laugh at the time when she would try to. And then later on, you know, and then later on in our childhood, she would have moments where she would cook. But I never saw the bitch wash not a fucking dish until after I turned 18. And she wouldn't mind cleaning up after those foster boys, cleaning up after them. And I nearly cried that the first time I saw her wash one dish was after we were already 18. But I think only a couple of times she washed the damn dishes. But she never really cleaned up after us. You're supposed to be a so-called caregiver or a parent. But the foster mom used to neglect and ignore us and have everybody else taken care of or watching us. So, well, also when we were little, around that time, I don't think it was that night, that evening, the pork and beans was another day. She, pretended to be fake nice and, you know, taught us how to make these butterscotch cookies. Like they had butterscotch morsels, and I don't even think they sell those in the store. But I love those things, and I don't think I'll ever get to have those in my life again. I think she taught us how to bake butterscotch cookies from scratch, and they already had the pre-made butterscotch morsels, the same way you have chocolate morsels. So, um, yeah, I guess my appetite and weight start to pick up a little bit by fourth, especially fifth grade. Because fifth grade I was on that Prozac, and it wasn't until Thanksgiving. Let me see. I must have been Thanksgiving 1993 when everybody started to call me greedy. When I went for seconds, um, the foster cousin Corey and the foster aunt Mickey's son Corey, and then the foster boy Jamie, that was Mickey's foster child who was biracial. And Corey and Jamie were both bullying, harassing, laughing at me, and calling me greedy. Then after they called me greedy, then everybody started to call me greedy. And it's been a weak spot and a sensitive spot. Um, that they called me greedy on purpose just to be mean and cruel. And I was on the Prozac, and Prozac used to make me hungry, and used to make me overeat, and it used to make me pull knives on people, and be homicidal and suicidal. And I don't want to go back to a nightmare like that again, because I'm telling you, how these freaking psych medications. I'm telling you, nope. So, well, excuse me. So it carried on, especially sixth grade, fifth and sixth grade. People would secretly, the kids at school would secretly spit in their food, and then wait till after I ate the food to be like, like, cause say for example, this boy, one of my classmates, his name is Keenan Henderson, and lo and behold, today's world, recently saw Keenan on Facebook and pictures of him throwing up devil horn signs. I'm like, whatever happened to him turning his life to Jesus? But um he used to be super cruel and mean, and I used to have a crush on him in elementary school, but now I wouldn't date him. But not a sexual crush, but a kid crush. I used to like him, but I was too young to even think about sex or anything. But I used to like him, So then Keenan was the first to start, offer me that. You remember that yucky wheat bread pizza I told you about that I didn't like, and I didn't. I mean, and I guess I didn't even question. He used to be like, "Candy, you want this pizza?" Oh yeah, I'll take it. And then he'd shake his head, be like, "Greedy," and then give it to me, and then I eat it, and then people would be like, "Ew, he spit in it." And the same thing happened. This white boy named Corey Mooney did to me. And his mom used to be a substitute teacher at McDonald 26. So Corey did the same thing when we were in sixth grade. And I was in fifth or sixth grade. And I dealt with being bullied like that every day at lunch. And they did the same thing. But except Corey offered me his food, but he didn't call me greedy. That Corey. Um, and so Corey offered me the burrito, and I said yeah, and I ate it, and then they wait till afterwards to say, "Ew, he spit in it." So then, that hurt my left side. um, so then, let's see. But I didn't know about the sin of gluttony. Nobody ever told me or taught me. But those psychiatric medications do make you more hungry. And then, you know, they would say I'm using the psych meds as an excuse for whatever behavior. Well, if I weren't on the psych medication, those behaviors wouldn't. If I wasn't abused, then those behaviors wouldn't have happened. Well, how about you being held accountable for your abusive behavior? So, um, well, all right. So I remember in sixth grade, uh, this, I mean, stank whore Lanika. Sorry, fighting out unwanted thoughts. When I was in sixth grade, I was interested in all these different cultures and languages and stuff like that. And I wanted to learn more than just Spanish. And so, well, it was Thanksgiving and we were in sixth grade. And the first time Lanika ever treated me any kind of mean. And that was only once in sixth grade. And then she was perping me really bad and being abusive and cruel in seventh grade to beat both me and my twin sister. But she still always liked my twin sister better than me. So when they were talking about German chocolate cake, the Kraft family, and talking about German chocolate cake, and then you know, I asked her what did it taste like because I never had it before. You didn't have to share it with me, but you could at least just describe to me what it tastes like. And she was like, "None of your business, greedy." So fifth and sixth grade, me being on that Prozac, everybody was calling me greedy, and I was gaining a little weight. And the foster mom yelled at me and my twin sister about weight gain. We were never really fat in elementary school, not officially fat, you know. not like how I'm fat now, and been fat for years. So then, um, it wasn't so heavy of people calling me fat and greedy in seventh grade throughout high school. While I was still on those psych meds, and I was still on looking back. I mean, people used to call me fat, but nah, me being a 5'2" and 130 or 140 pounds, that's not fat. Um, but they used to call me fat. And then uh seventh, no wait, yeah, seventh grade all the way through 12th, it was expected to have donuts for breakfast every day. One donut every day at school for breakfast. And then, I mean, there was used to be a variety of whatever ever changing, you know, there used to be a change in different, hot menu for breakfast in elementary school. And sometimes we would even have cereal. And I remember being in second grade and I lost a tooth and a whole bunch of blood was in my doggone cereal and milk and frosted flakes and I couldn't eat it all. Miss Coleman wasn't gonna make me eat that. My whole tooth fell inside the in the cereal and milk, and there was a whole lot of blood. Nowadays, I don't even see little kids losing their teeth anymore. What's going on? What's wrong? I don't see snagger tooth, snagger mouth kids no more. But anyway, so imagine eating the same like donut for breakfast every school day for 6 years. But then they used to give us a hot lunch. And then when we were in eighth grade, I thought it was cool that we would have a ice cream bar, and we could have as much as or whatever you want. But I didn't realize that was unhealthy. So then, but there used to be like you had choice of hot lunch or hamburgers, hot dogs, or salad bar, ice cream bar. But that ice cream bar was there for just a while. And then ninth grade, I don't think they had the ice cream bar anymore. But then in high school, because ninth grade was still junior high for us, seventh, eighth, and ninth. Because McDonald 26 at the time was first grade through sixth was considered elementary school, and then seventh through ninth was junior high, and 10th grade started high school for us. But everybody else would start high school in ninth grade, freshman. So then in ninth grade, you know, when Monica was perping me really bad and bully, harass, and laugh at me. And then, when I would try to run track, and then that one day that she called me greedy, and I know I lied about it for years. I lied and said that she hit me for no reason, but no, when she made remarks about, because I was feeling depressed about being blamed about the foster grandma's death, and you know, people were calling me crazy. That was when, I traced back that time, after being blamed for the foster grandma's death was when people started calling me crazy. And then, you know, Monica looked for another reason to call me crazy and greedy for having big bag of Doritos and 3 king size candy bars. And like me being sensitive to being called greedy, and I blacked out and punched her and punched the men in black sunglasses off her face. And she didn't have a black eye or any injuries or whatever, but it wasn't really premeditated. But I was so shocked. And then And I mean, but I was a teenager then, and I even lied and said that she tripped me first and stuff. But she did go through her periods of time when she used to trip us in the hallway unprovoked for no reason and then laugh and do all kinds of cruel stuff to not just us, but even mentally normal people. She would punch for no reason and laugh and think it's funny. Um, or do very cruel stuff and laugh and think it's funny. But her being punched, that wasn't funny. So, and I was on Luvox at that time, and I probably could have been sleep deprived as well because I was scared of the dark, being traumatized by the foster grandma's death. I mean, me seeing her in the casket and the foster grandma when she died. Um, Let me see, like they had her in the casket like this, her lips stretched out and her tongue sticking out and lipstick uh over her tongue and lips, and she had a green bruise on the right side of her forehead. Like her mouth was like her. I used to know how to do when I was younger. Her mouth was like that's exactly how her mouth looked like in the casket, the foster grandma. So, um, I was traumatized and having nightmares. But shortly before the foster grandma, Mildred Collins, was before she died, like from July 1997 up until she died, I would have nightmares about snakes, and so and couldn't sleep. And so, like one time, it was after she died, and I had a nightmare about her dancing in hell. And then another time, I had a dream that she was still alive but in heaven. So I don't know. You know, that really traumatized me, to see her, you know, with her tongue sticking out. And they said that she died of colon and ovary cancer, and the foster mom had her cremated, which I heard cremation is not biblical. The foster mom had her husband cremated, the third husband. So, yeah, the foster mom would have the two husbands cooking, the third husband and the fourth husband. They always did all the cooking. Like the woman's supposed to do the cooking, not the men. Well, men cook too, but the woman's supposed to be in the kitchen, from what I read about the Christian life, but the foster mom was in that cult. She wore the pants in the house. So she was the woman wearing the pants in the house, making all the rules. Make that fourth husband sleep on a couch downstairs. So, um, I know I was more on that skinny side when I was in eighth, ninth, 10th grade. But I was really skinny when I was in 10th grade. And I wish I still had those pictures. Um, the foster mom wouldn't let me have those pictures. And then I had braces and started to gain a little more weight when I was in 11th grade. And then by 12th grade, I was on that Risperdal and got up to 150 pounds. And they tried whatever loophole for me to not go into the military. But guess what, you bastards? You did me a favor. Now I'm glad I didn't go into the military. Now that I know the truth. So, nobody ever called me greedy because, nobody ever directly called me a glutton. But yeah, they call me, greedy just to be mean, you know, and me being like extra sensitive to that, being called greedy. But I hate how I was still skinny and being called fat. And the foster mom, we would be in sixth grade, and the foster mom used to tell us that we're going to grow up to be bigger than the house and stuff. So, um, well, I was 17 when I gained more weight on Risperdal, and it used to make me pee on myself. Like I had lack of control, and me being on those psych medications in high school, I used to have to beg for money, beg the other kids for money because the lunch just wasn't enough. They got sick and tired and fed us just one slice of pizza um, for lunch. They just got sick and tired and they got lazy on us. No more hot lunch, just and no more hamburgers either. Just nothing but pizza. By a certain time in high school, and the kids used to cut the line and try to knock you down. And the football players, that's why I used to call them the greedy ass whole fucking football players. And the slutty cheerleaders, greedy for penis. Um, so, um, slutty cheerleaders, greedy ass whole fucking football players. Yeah. So, they used to knock you down every day and try to cut the line just for Domino's pizza or that donut. And people wonder why there was so many fights and stuff because years down the line, like in 2011 or 12 or something like that, or maybe 2013 or 14, I think I was watching a documentary called Seeds of Change or something like that. You might can find it on YouTube or one of those natural documentaries. And kids used to be rebellious and disrespectful to the teachers at school, more detentions, more behavior problems. And then they did an experiment to have the kids have you know the kids ate organic and natural food, and they were better, well behaved, and more obedient, and got along better with each other, and no fights and stuff like that. So they treated us like as if we were in detention or prison or kiddie prison. And I dreaded going to school. After I used to love school and love education and love field trips and stuff. But then I you know I ended up hating school and feel like it's a prison hell. I've been calling school prison hell since 8th grade. And the teachers want to make us fearful of detention and punishment and stuff like that. So I was 18 years old, going to Nicholls State University, freshman, and I would I was 18 years old, and then um I used to go back for seconds every meal, and I gained a lot of weight. And I heard that they said that freshman 15. So by the time I started college, I was 170 pounds. And then like within 4 months, I gained 30 pounds, and um, I got up to 200 pounds and could not get down. And then was on that trazodone and certain other psychiatric medications, and that I kind of don't remember offhand. And trazodone used to have me miss class and sleep 15 hours a day and eat myself to sleep and have a whole bunch of badass acid reflux, GERD, whatever. And so the foster mom would try to still control how I dress and wear my hair and control everything. Like as if the control got stronger after I turned 18. Um, so I guess I had the freedom and liberty to eat more when she wasn't around, and I would eat like 2 and 3 plates of food. But she would get mad at us when she would take us on a fake cult Bible class convention, and she would get mad at us for the fact that we eat 1 plate of food and can only, like, we couldn't even eat it all, and she would get mad at us, quote unquote, wasting her money when she would take us, to all you can eat buffet, and we couldn't eat it all. But the foster mom waited till after I turned 18 to officially call me greedy, like physically call me greedy. But they would talk about how we're greedy and all we do is eat, and that we don't eat because we're hungry, and then we eat because it's there. No, we're not eating because the food is there. We eating because y'all put us on psychiatric medication that make us hungry and eat. Because I used to feel like I was starving and had to go panhandle and beg in high school, beg the kids for money for snacks and stuff to eat, like Doritos and Snickers and stuff, because I would still be insatiably hungry from those psych meds. But I guess the idea that I guess our food was controlled in foster care, even though the foster mom didn't raise us to eat healthy, living off of 6-day-old ramen noodles, 6-day-old moldy noodles while they have shrimp and steak, Rich Man and Lazarus. And so, you know, then, I think being in gym/PE plus our eating being more controlled is probably how we were able to stay under 200 pounds. But we were in 6th grade, and the foster mom mentioned about my twin sister gaining weight, and my twin sister used to even call me greedy and perk me with the greedy and stuff like that too, you know. But it's like everybody did, everybody. So, and well, fast forward to you know, when I was on my own in 2004 and 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, I would be in between, anywhere in between, back and forth between 210 and 240. Then after Hurricane Katrina, I stopped taking those medicines for a while and was depressed and got up to from 240, and then in 2006 I got up to 279. And then because being on those, when I went back to the foster family, the foster mom after Hurricane Katrina, I had no other option. They forced me to go back into seeing a psychiatrist and taking medicine. I guess I tried to break away in 2005, and I was going crazy. Um, I was going crazy. You know, in 2005 and 2006, I had my crazy moments where I just acting really crazy and doing crazy stuff, like you know, me just wanting to die, you know, and feeling suicidal, you know, in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina and just everything going on. So in 2006 and 2007, the fattest I got was up to 304 pounds on those psych meds in New York. And when I was on those psych meds, um, I was be just eat nothing but lettuce and walk 60 blocks a night. Like I would go walking from like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 3 hours, and walk 60 blocks, 60 streets, and was still gaining and gaining and gaining and just eating nothing but lettuce. And I'm wondering how am I still gaining weight? And, I was just eating lettuce, only lettuce. That was crazy of me. Fast forward to living in Denton, Texas. I felt discouraged and would wonder why I can't lose weight still on those psych medications, even with trying to eat healthier. Wondering what am I doing wrong, feeling discouraged. I've always said I would not try diet pills or nothing like that. Um, I would not want any surgeries. And when I was in New York in 2006, 2007, there was a doctor who tried to hardcore pressure me into getting lap band surgery. He's like, yo, look good, you feel good? I said, no, I want to lose weight the natural way. I don't want any freaking surgery. And so, good thing he eventually got off. But he was very coercive and pushy about, I'm like, no, I don't want to, because I heard that the biological brother Wyatt used to bully, harass, and lecture and laugh at the biological sister Belinda and call her all kinds of fat and stuff like that. I don't think he called her greedy, but he used to call her all kinds of fat and stuff like that. And then she ended up getting a tummy tuck and died at 40 years old. A week after her 40th birthday, she died. And I don't even know if that was a family blood sacrifice or not. But I wish I would have gotten to meet her and get to know that sister personally. You know, so I would be cruel if I say the wrong sister died. Like let trade her out for, Ramona. Freaking that retard Ramona, I freaking hate her. And I know I shouldn't. I need to I know I need to pray for the strength to love and forgive the abusive people, you know. Um but no, I don't want to do that and feel like, but I mean back then I used to feel like that, you know. But now I'm trying to change my mind from that and feeling like, you know, I don't want to wish death or destruction on my enemies. Just let God get the vengeance. Because Ramona freaking tried to have me killed and sacrificed and thought the shit was funny and kept trying. You want to sacrifice me just for enough money to go take and gamble up thousands of dollars and just fucking lose it all. You want to sacrifice my whole life just so you can do that. Take hundreds or thousands of dollars and gamble it up and lose it in 3 seconds. Like, how the hell you gamble up $500 in 2 minutes and lose it all? What a fucking shame. And trying to set me up in car accidents and think, trying to set me up to so you can sacrifice me. And I mean, I know that's a whole different freaking topic, you know. But it takes a lot. I know I need to work on, you know, spiritually work on, trying to not get even with my enemies. Um, and I used to feel like that with the biological mom, Frances, too. I feel like, damn, bring her back and take Ramona or something like that, But I don't want to be cruel like that no more. Wanting to get even. So it's like when Belinda died, uh, Ramona ran around bragging about being the oldest, like as she couldn't wait for Belinda to die just so she can brag about being the oldest. So you know, I know I still have more spiritual work to do, and I hardly have. I guess because of my targeting, I hardly have any supportive Christians to help me grow in Christ. But now I have to do this alone, and I have to work on you know trying to be strong enough to let go of bitterness and anger and you know the fact that they put me in this program, the targeting program, to be gang stalked. So anyway, when I was living in Denton, Texas, and you know wondering why I would try to eat healthy and then still couldn't lose weight. So then in 2009, I tried to get off the medications, questioning psychiatry and mental health, and saying, well, even in 2007 was when I first felt like, well, pills don't solve my problems. So I remember, I even had suicide attempt in 2007, being on that Wellbutrin medication, um, swallowed a whole bunch of pills. I don't remember what pills I swallowed, but I just remember that they were green. And I tried to drown myself in the tub and stuff like that back then, not knowing what the hell was going on. Y'all know I know I spoke on my 2010 suicide attempt. I attempted suicide in New York, swallowed a whole bunch of pills, but never again. Well, I don't want to do that no more. I'm really scared and traumatized by my past suicide attempts, and so now I know what the real enemy is. You know, and I always wonder why the hell the narcissistic abusers and wicked people can do stuff like still be sane minded and live up to being like 107 years old and still freaking gardening and driving cars and at 107 years old. And you be the type to look young for your age. And but then, people who ain't narcissistic abusers, who are the unfortunate ones to lose their life at 20 and shit like that, die young, get murdered. So, all right, so I was awakened to the truth, what I thought it was the truth in 2010. But I guess I was questioning things ever since I was little. Um, Questioning about, you know, me, like when I was 4 years old, they used to say that I asked too many stupid questions. Even at age 12, that I asked too many stupid questions. So when I asked this question the other day, move, move, hold up. Well, when I asked online, I said, do people usually sit in their car when idling it in the morning, or do they usually go back inside? Well, a person was nice enough to say most smart people who know anything about modern cars know that you do not start the car and let it idle. You start it, put on your seatbelt, and drive away. Letting it idle is not the correct thing to do. Yeah, because I asked in reference to that thing outside. They left and came back 3 times today. Now, loud Camaro. Then earlier today, I also saw that freaking that Kia SUV that sat. I mean, they parked the car and walked off somewhere. They don't stay here because if you stayed here, your car would be parked here overnight as well. That's how I know you don't stay here. So one person said, "Well, if you feel like my question is absurd, why'd you answer it?" You said, "Absurd question. Nobody here can speak for the majority because no one here has ever taken a meaningful statistical survey that would be an accurate approximation of the truth. I don't pretend to know what most people do, and anyone who said they know is merely guessing." And he got 2 thumbs up for that. Um, and other people, they didn't. I'm like, why you had to say be rude and call my question absurd? You're either a narcissistic abuser or a perp, and everybody's fucking agreeing with you, but you going to hell. Damn it. You know, so I guess the reason why I have so much bitterness and anger and pent up, emotions, and like I never really got to have support, emotional support and closure on, now I'm always left hanging by myself, and I'm left off to myself, and I don't know, I'm always left off to myself, and with nobody to come to my defense or be supportive of me, you know. But so back to my story. Um, yeah, I was researching I stumbled, heard about the Illuminati in 2010, but I was questioning psychiatry. I even hated psychiatry in 2007. Yeah, y'all invading my life and being intrusive and trying to dictate my life. But then you do it. You admit that you do it because this is my job. This is what I get paid to do. And dealing with bossy, control freak neighbors. So when the neighbors were all nice and normal in Denton, Texas in 2007, and I was still new there, and then uh, the neighbors started to perk me after, because the walls were paper thin and you could smell what your next door neighbor is cooking. Um, it's like him and his girlfriend were nice till they overheard the mental health case manager berating and condemning me and treating me like I'm slow. And that's when they started to perk me and abuse me after that. Well, mainly the guy, but the female, she was sweet towards me until their last year staying there. And so he would do stuff like play the Rump Shaker song and then be gone for a whole entire week and have that song blaring loud on repeat while being gone for a whole week. And they would wait till 3 o'clock in the morning and blast music and perk me. And the police wouldn't want to do anything about it, but they were quick to handle up on me, if they made reports about me. So I didn't even realize then I was being gang stalked. I'm just so glad to break away from the mental health system. So, um, yeah, so basically, I guess they must have felt threatened, and maybe I tried to awaken and question psychiatry, but I started to awaken more like 2009 on my own, at least about the psychiatry and mental health. And, fake social workers, fake mental health case managers trying to control what I should eat or condemn me. And if, like, how the hell is an obese mental health case manager gonna condemn me because I try to do something positive for myself and have 2 barbecue cheeseburgers and she condemned me about eating junk food, and she's like, you know that junk food, because it didn't have lettuce and tomato on it, and the meat wasn't lean. How you know? You weren't there. But that's like a know-it-all narcissistic abuser. And then them keeping me in fear, it's them, you know, manipulating me. The way they treated me caused me to have panic attacks. Just like I was having a panic attack last night thinking about that court date. Um, so I was doing more research about the Illuminati and stuff like that. And some kind of way throughout my research, I research about natural health and how medicines are bad for you and certain food we eat is bad. And psychiatry and big pharma being mind control and stuff. And so I watched a documentary called Food Inc. and then another one called Forks Over Knives and stuff like that. I tried to do that vegan challenge. And before I became homeless in 2011, I bought up a whole bunch of vegan food. And it would even be cooked vegan food, that I would cook like potatoes and stuff. So it wasn't complete. I didn't know about raw veganism until later on. I've tried that diet too, but I never tried just a strict like vegetarian diet. But I went straight vegan. But I never had I consider myself I'm just vegetarian, So but most mornings I usually eat like a vegetarian breakfast, not by intent. I just, and if there any meat to eat during breakfast hours, it's usually being like sausage or ham or something like that. When I do eat like grits, eggs, and sausage biscuit or whatever, pancakes, eggs, and sausage and grits. So, I usually avoid bacon when I can, and be like, well, can I have double sausage instead of sausage and bacon, or can you switch out the bacon for the sausage? So, uh, but then when I became homeless and was living in Los Angeles after, what I went through in 2011, um, I had to go back to eating normal, like my old diet. And I remember going to some area in Los Angeles. It wasn't in Glendale, California, but it was Los Angeles on Glendale Boulevard. And they had all those Hispanics at the Burger King, and the Whoppers were 88 cents. And I thought it was cool because I just moved there, and I had just moved there, and we had to wait 3 hours for the Whopper sandwiches. And with the Whopper, I I thought it was cool because I was able to get it on my food stamp card because I hadn't fully transitioned. I was brand new to LA, and I was trying to get laundry done and stuff like that. So then, you know, I tried, even in 2011 when I was in that transitional housing, I think I tried what I could to eat vegan or raw vegan or something. And then me telling everybody you have to eat raw vegan, whatever, in order to cure disease and be natural, all that stuff. But I hated being told any truth, and the so-called truth was basically not the truth, but half truths and leading me on the path of New Age. But I didn't get deep in it. But certain natural health thingies that I tried, I didn't know was New Age, and I didn't know that vegetarian and veganism was New Age as well. And I was disappointed and discouraged to find all that out. And I was wondering why people claim to speak out against the Illuminati, but then still using those same symbols. Um, so That had me confused, but now I know the answer. They're fake. And I watched a documentary called The New Age Infiltration of the Truth Movement. So that opened my eyes even more. So I had to do more digging and find out that Jesus Christ is the truth. But I need to practice myself to stop being thinking hateful, or because other people hate me, or because they perp and abuse me. And I need to practice to, overcome hatred and bitterness, and to practice to I know it's very hard and I can't do it by myself, but practice to love my enemies as Jesus Christ commanded. And you know, it's I know it's hard and I can't do it on my own. I know I need the help of the Holy Spirit to help me. I need to pray more about it. And I'm still traumatized about the fasting, but I need to, one of these days I know I need to fast and pray about certain things, so well, even in 2012 when I got my place, I was eating vegan. I was trying to eat, like, practice raw veganism. And then I was wondering why vegetarian and veganism, well, veganism used to make me super hungry. And then if I would try to eat vegan, and then they would have this event called the Summer Night Lights, and they used to perp me there and think they have the authority to restrict me to one hamburger. But then the crackheads and illegal Mexicans, they were allowed to go and get like 4 hamburgers or eight hot dogs and stuff. Like, how the hell you? And then they will lie and say that the people are. I'm like, well, how did you let him leave with 8 hot dogs? Why? How you tell me I can only have one? Oh, because he has family. Bullshit. He's by himself. He lied to you and say he had family. But no, they just wanted to be nice to everybody else, but restrict me, and they were perping me with that. 10-year-old kids trying to control how many hamburgers I should eat. So I guess being deprived from with the veganism thing, I was wondering why I would overcompensate by eating 4 hamburgers or 4 hot dogs throughout the night. And I was going to the fake Hell's Way Church in 2012. I would end up eating 4 hot dogs and then having super bad acid reflux and heartburn. And that's all the church would serve at one point. When Fat Lissa, y'all call me fat and greedy. So I'm fighting our unwanted thoughts. So Melissa would just get lazy and serve us nothing but hot dogs. Shortly after I came there, because when I first got there, she was, cooking like normal, cooking, taking her time out to cook. But then I guess ever since after the rape thing by the Freemason, that's when she got lazy and started to make just nothing but hot dogs. And they would have their occasional fake potlucks. Everything about that church was fake. That's why I call it the fake Hell's Way Church. And so the fake pastor, Eric, where would that pastor, the false pastor who's now a celebrity, Ben Lim, who I call Ben Fraud, well, if Ben didn't know me, he got it from Eric to say that me and David Jane are the greediest people in the church. And David, he came on my channel trying to perp and gang stalk me, saying, "Fat so who always want to complain." So if you say that, but you were fat too, so you shut the hell up. And you would never tell me you wouldn't even tell me that to my face. So David, he's delusional and lies on people as well. So me trying to be a good friend and be there for David while everybody else would bully him and pick on him, you know. So, um, but the fake pastor Eric would try to say tithing is the only way to salvation, and he would exploit and take advantage of the poor. And Eric would be like, you know, David, you can eat 6 plates of food, but you can't tithe. But they were taking all of David's money at that group home, and they still taking all his money at that group home that he's living in. So David wouldn't say that on his own mind, but put people put it in his head to feel like I'm a fat and always complain. But we would be in public, and I would treat David out to eat, and he'd do stuff like lick the plate in public, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" So, I mean, that really hurt and shocked and made me upset when David was making up lies on me too, and talking about fat soul who always want to complain. So, now, I mean, I was deceived with the veganism. Just like somebody told me the other day, cow's milk is not meant for human consumption. Says who? Nothing but the new agers and vegan and vegetarians. The way our regular cow's milk is processed, is processed incorrectly. That's why we're getting sick. And I had to learn about Price Pottinger Nutrition Foundation and Weston A. Price, Weston A. Price Foundation, and then Price Pottinger, ppnf.org, I think is their website. Price Pottinger Nutrition. And from what it looks like, Wise Traditions and Nourishing Traditions website, and also Weston A. Price, it seems like as if they teach natural health, and I have not come across new age information. So that's good. So they encourage meat eating as well, but they emphasize, more so grass-fed beef, free-range chicken, raw milk, and stuff like that. So the biblical milk, as in milk and honey from the Bible, I don't know what animal that milk come from, but they say it's not that humans shouldn't drink cow milk, but the fact that how they treat the cow before it dies, before they kill it. And then there was some video, I don't think it was Forks Over Knives, but it was another video. But, Forks Over Knives and Food Inc. indoctrinate you and give disinformation, truth mixed with lies. And when I first saw Food Inc., it manipulated me into made me not want to eat food at all. I was so disgusted and outraged. And then I remember hearing about the cloned meat in 2007, and I felt grossed out. And then they tried to say that it was mainstream news talking about the cloned meat, that the government didn't have to tell you what was cloned and what was real. Do y'all remember that? So that's pretty, messed up. So, I, with our minds being compartmentalized and cognitive dissonance and all that, now after research, I'm able to, piece things together. So, then I don't I guess sometime I was still living in Los Angeles. Maybe 2014, I found out the truth about veganism and vegetarianism, and I went back to eating meat full fledged. And I wasn't I guess I was hypocritical about the vegetarian and veganism because I still was, you know, I would, I guess, eat a whole bunch of vegetarian and vegan, and then next thing you know, splurge and binge on hamburgers or something like that. But um, in 2012, I used to beg for money from McDonald's like it was like I was begging for crack, and I never even asked for crack. I never even used crack. I mean, if you know what I mean. So for a long time, I quit eating McDonald's and then went back to eating it for a short while. Like in 2018, it had no choice but to eat it because that was the only thing open in Las Vegas when I went there. And then, you know, I used to um, wonder why just simply the sausage biscuit at McDonald's for breakfast used to make me want to hurt somebody in order to get it. Normally, I'm not a violent person, but I'm just showing you the mind control and witchcraft on this food and stuff. Remember when the Popeyes chicken sandwich and people was mocking and laughing at people? Well, I have not had Popeyes since 2000, early 2019, before I left New Orleans. And then it was last summer, sometime, maybe in June or July 2019, when I was working. No, it was June because it was June 2019 was the last time I had uh, churches. So have not touched churches since. And I think I had Taco Bell a couple of times this year, like in January this year. But I don't even remember. Um, I haven't had Taco Bell in a long time before that. And it's been a while since I even had Sonic. I had Wendy's uh, last month, just that one time, for the first time in a long time. But I didn't have the burger though, I don't think. Maybe I had a chicken sandwich. I don't remember. No, I had salad. No, I think I had a salad and the guy gave me free frosty, remember? And he was nice to me. He was sweet to me, you know. So, um so I remember, you know, when my appetite started to pick up, I was in ninth grade when I discovered that I could eat like 3 or 4 slices of pizza, or I would eat like 3 donuts. I would fix like 3 peanut butter sandwiches. Um, and I used to always read nutrition facts, and you know, thinking if something was chocolate and said natural flavors, I thought it would be chocolate flavor, not no damn human embryonic kidney cells. Um, so well, also, you know, I had to break away from eating 3 donuts. Now I seldom eat donuts much anymore. Um, I don't even. Well, I don't like Krispy Kreme anyway. But I don't really eat donuts no more. I don't eat Whataburger anymore. So on rare occasions this year, I've had fast food. Last time I had McDonald's was New Year's, and I was disappointed because I didn't want to eat it. But a lady gave me a gift card, a $10 gift card, and you know I had no choice but to have McDonald's because um, I had no money for food. That was later on in that day after crazy weirdo Alex called the police on me. Um, so yeah, everything about that New Year's was bad, and it was just a bad start, bad year. So whether it be Popeyes or churches, I missed either one of those biscuits. And then I was gonna go to churches the other day and get me some biscuits, but you have to have a car and go through drive-through, no in person. Oh, last time I had donuts, yeah, across the street. So it's been over a month since I had Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. Um, Not allowed to go there anymore, but that was staged though. Because if it weren't for the mask thing, they would have tried something else, you know. But that's a different story. So, you know, I had to learn to have food, like our body being the temple of the Holy Spirit. I had to learn that we should just have food as natural as food from nature as God intended, including meat and stuff like that. Because I heard that the New Agers and witches and stuff, that they don't want us to eat meat so that we can be weaker and that the devil can take over us because it's synonymous with. You ever heard of? I think it's in. Hold on. You know. Yeah. So First Peter 2:2. Um. Yeah. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. Um. That's First Peter 2:2. And yes, King James version. Yeah. So you know. And so then, I'm not trying to preach or anything. I'm never a preacher. Hmm. So First Timothy uh, 4:3 um, say basically it's doctrines of devils to forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of God is good and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of God and prayer. Yeah. So that's First Timothy chapter 4. Yeah. But yeah, I know I need to better myself as a Christian. And I backslid and trying to get back to God. Well, First Timothy chapter 4 says, now the Spirit, 4:1 says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Excuse me. So I'm like, oh wow. And also that scripture that talks about the they have a debate on whether or not people should eat pork and shellfish and stuff. So Acts 10 and 13 through 15. Also, it looks like it's in Acts 11 and 7 as well. Um, Acts 10, chapter 13 through 15. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again in the second time, What God hath cleansed, call not thou common. But they still have people who say, they still have people who condemn you for eating pork or shellfish. But, you know, so I don't know. And then in the book of Colossians, I think, um, okay, Colossians 2 and 16 through 23. Um, you know, yeah, it said, Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. 17, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. So, you know, Colossians, yeah, 2, yeah. And the idea that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. But people will call you a hypocrite if you use that's one way they'll get you. If they want to vaccinate you with the COVID vaccine, and if you say, well, my body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, but yet you're eating a taco, yeah, they'll condemn you and call you a hypocrite for that. They're like, but you're eating a junk food taco, so why you don't? But they'll use that to manipulate you into getting that vaccine. You know, so, but I hate how sometimes junk food, you being poor and homeless, sometimes junk food laden with natural flavors, human embryonic kidney cells, is all there is to eat. Um, so I hate that the government is doing this to us. And then I heard about the human meat in McDonald's, and I heard that they kill off homeless people and babies and grind them up and use them as meat for McDonald's. And that's why, and then you hear about the adrenochrome, adrenochrome, adrenochrome. And the celebrities do cannibalism and adrenal, they like to get high off the blood of traumatized human babies. And they're trying to brainwash us to become like them so that we can lose our souls and go to hell. So now I learned to follow no special diet, but just try whenever I can have the money or afford to, if I ever got my own place again, and if possible, a place where I can cook and stuff. Because I heard microwave is bad for you. And I feel like if I ate microwave food every day, long term, is probably gonna have a bad effect on me. So I realize you gotta just eat food as as God intended, and we still should refuse pills and vaccines and stuff. And if we're able to eat but they tank everything, the chemtrails in the sky take away anything natural from you trying to grow organic. Um, but I heard some people have greenhouses and stuff that they can protect. They can have, some shelter to protect their vegetables from being contaminated and cross mated with other seeds. That you wonder how you plant natural food and then wonder how you end up with the counterfeit version of what you thought was natural. And I mean, I hear about the Indian farmers who grew rice, the basmati rice, when the government tried to take control, and Indian farmers had committed suicide. And here in America, I heard about the tyranny, and you put on the terrorist watch list for wanting to grow your own food. Can't you believe that? But they'll condemn you for eating junk food, but that's all they freaking advertise. They don't advertise on TV, grow your own food, your natural food and stuff. They don't teach that. They don't have commercials. But I'm surprised they front like they care. Like in Los Angeles, there was this Coca-Cola posters that they want to act like they're speaking against you know they say you wouldn't eat 23 spoonfuls of sugar. Why are you drinking them? So Fanta would have almost 100 grams of sugar in one 12-ounce can. I had to stop drinking Fanta a long time ago. I don't even drink soda anymore, or mainstream soda. And if any soda that I drink, the rare occasion I will have ginger beer from Trader Joe's or something, when I can have that rare opportunity to go to Trader Joe's. But there's no Trader Joe's here in Pensacola. They only have that fake Everman's place. Dog, I miss Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, and I like Aldi as well. But even they're compromised and corrupted. And I heard how they exploit their workers as well. So, um, I like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. But Whole Foods, they say, is whole paycheck. Yeah. 4 items on food, or 4 items, and you spent $200 at Whole Foods. So when I used to try to live off the farmers markets. And the fake LA people thought I was Los Angeles when I say LA. In Los Angeles, the fake LA people used to like one time these homeless men, and yeah, they got mad and screamed at me and cussed me from A to Z for I think it was $5 for a dozen of organic eggs, and I got cussed out because they told me I should have gone to Ralph's and got you know for $2 or $2.50. And I'm like, why are y'all concerned what I spend my money on? So I don't know why people thought that they can control how much food I buy at the farmer's market. I wonder where these gnats coming from. Um, and they would get mad and make remarks. They would get mad at me and make remarks about, they would get mad at me and make remarks about me basically buying groceries. Like I treated the farmer's market like a grocery store and trying to lose weight and eat healthier, and they condemn me for that. And then, like, this is the cycle. When people call me fat and greedy and pretend like they're fake concerned about my health, then I go eat healthy, and then I have to hear lectures about wasting my money trying to eat healthier. Then I'll feel discouraged. Move. Then I will feel discouraged and go back to eating, overeating, and eating you know junk food. And so I remember in 2006 when I stayed with the foster mom after Hurricane Katrina, and the foster sister Shelley tried to condemn me and say, "I used to feed your fucking fat ass every day." No, she said, "I gotta feed your fucking fat ass every day." And so, she would call me fat, but she was fat too. Like as if my fat is better than your fat. Me dealing with people fatter than me telling me I had to hear lectures about my weight from narcissistic abusers who are fatter than me. And somebody fatter than you and calling you all kinds of fat asses. Or they will make remarks about your weight. Nobody called him a hypocrite. So Shelly tried to, what she would do is send for me to go to the store, and she tried to act like I owe it to her. If I'm 22 years old, and she acted like I owe it to her for her to snoop through my groceries and then make remarks about if I buy everything healthy and then just one box of candy or one candy bar or one bag of cookies or one bag of chips, and she'll focus on that one bag of chips and mock and bully, harass, and laugh at me. Oh, and she tried to bully, harass, and lecture me about binging. But didn't you tell me you don't give a fuck about me? So she tried to act like she thought she had the authority to control my bank account as well, and I was 22 years old. Trying to make, and then one thing that they try to do is she did that. The foster mom did that, well, which is her mom, and then the biological gay brother Mark too. They'll try to make like if I have a bank account, then they'll try to make like, oh, it's always good to let another person, have access to your password or this, so that they can try to control everything. Or oh, it's always good to have another person to have an extra copy of your car keys and stuff, so that they can control it like it's theirs and go around claiming it as theirs. And all they do is drive the motherfucker. They don't put no gas in it or take care of it, but they drive it like it's theirs and control it like it's theirs. And you drive my shit more than I do, and I'm only good for putting gas in it just for you to drive and paying insurance and everything, and you pay nothing on my car when you have your own fucking car. But I didn't realize that was part of the narcissistic abuse and gang stalking as well. That they were probably doing all kinds of evil experimenting on my car. So now it seems like you can't even trust your own family. So well, in 2015, that retard Ramona, the biological sister Ramona, me and her got into that big argument, and she called me fat and greedy while she ate four. I mean, okay, you see this phone? The size of this phone. She ate. She's supposed to be diabetic, and she ate four pieces of cake each. Imagine four of these phones and cake the size of four of these phones, except it wasn't slim or thin like the phone, but the size around all like this, all four sides, you know, but it was thick, you know. So, I mean, the normal size of a regular sheet cake, if you know what I mean. And then yet calling me fat and greedy. And so Ramona called me fat and greedy. And so I said, so what? You're fat too. Look at the four big pieces of cake you're eating. And you call me greedy. He said, so what? At least I wasn't fat when I was your age. She said, so what? At least I wasn't fat when I was your age. I said, yes, you were 32 years old and fat. She said, that's because I had kids. That's because I had kids. I'm like, well, having kids ain't no damn excuse. So if people be fatter than me and think they can shun me about my weight or bully, harass, and lecture me about my weight and stuff like that. But after I found out in 2019 but I think I heard about it from Alex Jones. I don't listen to him no more. But I wasn't never a heavy listener of Alex Jones anyway. But it's like he has a cult following that if you speak bad about him, his cult followers are coming to attack you like vultures. So yeah, I thought it was just in different countries. I didn't realize that was here as well, that they put human meat in food. And the aborted, I think I did hear about the aborted fetal cells. And I tried to stay away from packaged food and try to practice eating natural and stuff. But me living in my predicament, it's harder to do that. So I had to buy that pre-cooked chicken. I would rather have had, my own chicken to make and bake it in the oven and stuff, not have to put it in the microwave, for health reasons. Not that I'm trying to sound ungrateful or complain or anything. Don't think that I'm trying to do that, but I'm just, so, um, well, but 2019 I heard was when I first, you know, I was awakened even more and couldn't handle the thing about celebrities being transgender. They said Aaliyah was a tranny, a dead clone tranny, or they try to say Aaliyah is still alive. They said that the celebrities being a horse faced tranny, like Cardi B, and well, they said Aaliyah was a horse faced tranny, and they said that you know, I heard that quite a few. I mean, like you hear about Michelle Obama being a man, and you know, what's her name? Jennifer Aniston. And they say she's a man, horse faced tranny, and then hear about celebrities. I mean, men who you think is a man is actually female to male. Like they said, Bruno Mars is a female to male transgender and stuff like that. So hearing about that, plus hearing about um, you know, human meat and food and aborted fetal cells and food, and then to be fully awakened about my targeting and stuff. I'm surprised I didn't have another suicidal trip, but I couldn't handle what I when reality hit me, But I didn't have a suicide trip like I did in 2010 when I first, heard about the Illuminati and stuff. But I was already suicidal before then. Well, I'm not going to try that no more. But so in 2019, I was sleeping on the college, University of New Orleans campus where I graduated from. Before they waited 6 months to ban me, wait till the weather is bad and create a situation on purpose to justify banning me. And I'm still having a hard time trying to not be bitter about that. Made me want to throw my college degree away. Well, it's already thrown away. I can't use it. So I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, I'm starting to get a headache. Earlier today, they were making my chest hurt really bad. So, well, I went, well, in 2018, I think it was, I started to get a little slimmer. Then I worked at the Grand Canyon. I got spoiled with every meal being all you can eat. And then would eat 3 plates of food per meal, 9 plates of food a day. And I wasn't even on psych medications. And I would fight the resistance and dare myself every day. I would fight the resistance to eat ice cream and fall into the trap every meal, except breakfast. Or maybe they had it for, no, I don't think I had it for breakfast, but they were prepping me really bad at the Grand Canyon as well. And so then, no, it was between, yeah, wait, 2017, I lost a lot of weight. And I was 275, and I thought it was just my weight, but I didn't realize that I was kept needing to go to the hospital because being hit with energy weapons. I didn't realize that what was going on with me, and they treated me so bad. But that's another topic. So I remember during my teenage years, I would be depressed and overeat, and have a eating disorder of overeating, and in 2010, I tried to go back to college and it didn't work out, and I went into a depression. And I was on Effexor, and it used to make me feel like I was gonna die. And when I told the psychiatrist about it, he said my patients never ever died on this medication. But I heard that he was one of the doctors who was a pill pusher, and some people act like they idolize and worship the psychiatrist like a cult leader. And so I would was depressed and went 2 months without eating. And then it was from February to, or maybe it was January through April. I went with no food at all. I don't even think I drank water. And one day I was doing laundry in the month of April, and I got just super weak. And I could have died of starvation. And they even perked and abused me and treated me mean at the emergency room and made it like you're stupid for not eating. But I got weak and fell to the ground, and I never experienced anything like that in my life. And I was super weak and shaking, and then I ate something. I don't remember what it was. Finally ate something, and then for exactly 2 weeks, I would go to the store every morning and eat nothing but 2 pints of Bluebell ice cream. Then my teeth started to, on the 14th day, my teeth started to just all of a sudden out of nowhere become super loose, very loose. and then that's when I went back to eating my usual diet. So it was 2017. I had my own place after being in my hometown, New Orleans, and like towards the end of the year, I try to wean myself off of excess sugar and sweets in 2017, and then beginning 2018, because any piece of sugar I would eat, my whole body would get the shakes, and but I was not diabetic. But I had this effective medication for about a year, long after I stopped taking this medication. Like they put me on meclizine is the meclizine is the vertigo medicine. It wasn't the meclizine. It was hold on. Yeah, I get meclizine and the other one mixed up. Hmm. It's at the back of my head, the tip of my tongue. Come on, where is it? Move. None of these listed as the hold up. But I'm a dummy because in 2016 I think it was um it was 2016 I tried if I see the name I remember. Wow, because meclizine is for meclizine is for uh meclizine is for vertigo and stuff. Uh, I apologize. I'm sorry. What? Yeah, but anyway, it was a medication for sciatica. Um, well, I ended up experiencing sciatica in my right hip. Uh, come on, if I see the name, move, stop the ads. Oh man, it's not Xanax. I wonder why I can't find the name of the medicine. But anyway, uh, but I was so badly wanting to find the name of the medicine. But I ain't gonna worry about it because I don't want to take up too much time. So the sciatica medication. I mean, I ate a whole bunch of candy the day before, and then the next day, I had like bad sciatica pain in my right hip, and they gave me that medication. I always forget the name of it. But then again, they switched out that medication because that medication used to make me feel diabetic when I wasn't diabetic. My blood sugar would still be normal. And then I didn't have a problem with the shakes after I ate all that I was foolish and ate all that candy, whatever reason that day. Maybe I was depressed, but depressed about the spiritual abuse that Lisa Ruby put me through. And you know, and then in October 4 years ago, I wrestled with myself and didn't know whether or not I wanted to live or die. I did not know wrestling not whether or not to kill myself. And I was on that medication, and I ate 5 pralines, and then I um was on my phone and I was like normal. And then 45 minutes later, I got the shakes. And then the natural health green superfood supplement, I can't think of the name offhand, but it saved my life. And I had the shakes for like 3 or 4 days. And then, well, whatever that sciatica medication was, made my body hypersensitive to sugar for at least a year, about a year. And then January 2018, I have reduced my sugar consumption a lot and lost some more weight. And then like, cause I was doing stuff like measuring my food and eating less and stuff like that, and cooking my own food, and I lost some weight and stuff, and I was even somewhat slimmer in 2018. And then like the end of 2018, beginning of 2019 was the first time in my adulthood life I couldn't be 18 and over and then be under 200 pounds. So that was the first time in my life I got down to 192 pounds. And then I was after I found out the news about the food, uh and the celebrities and me being targeted and everything, I found out you know I found out about I mean, when I found out about all that, I would be on UNO's campus, and I was buying food 3 meals a day, $10 or close to $10, because breakfast was slightly cheaper, and it was all you can eat. And I would eat 6 plates for breakfast, 6 plates for lunch, and 6 plates for dinner, not knowing, how to emotionally handle and process. I wasn't trying to kill myself at the time, but I didn't know how to emotionally handle and process, um, you know, the information of, even though that was the truth. And then I also found out, about the cloning and stuff, as celebrities being cloned and stuff. I couldn't handle that either. Um, all that, and then me being targeted. I mean, for sure, I found out my final confirmation, because I was figured I was targeted 4 years ago. I was trying to figure out, why is my body vibrating. And I mean, I would have moments where I would eat healthy, or eat no sugar or no bad stuff, and still vibrate. So I figure I know it's the energy weapons and not my diet. So, I try to, you know, I didn't know that certain foods I had to watch out. That's new age brands and stuff. And some people say that chia seeds is new age, um, a new age superfood or whatever. So, and the government lied to us, saying that, uh, pasteurized is healthier than raw fruit juice, like cold pressed. And I miss going to the farmers market in Santa Monica, part of Los Angeles, on a Saturday, and have like fresh squeezed orange juice with the pulp, and just plain straight from the orange, and not go to Walmart and they still have the pulp in it and they have quote unquote natural flavors. You think it would say, I'm like, damn, they try very hard to put this in just about everything. So I no longer really eat fast food anymore. I don't eat McDonald's no more. I don't eat Burger King no more. Every now and then I'll have Subway, but even seldom. And like me being in a hotel, it'll be rare. I try to stay away from mainstream Papa John's uh and I seldom order pizza much anymore. But I stay away from Papa John's, Domino's, and Pizza Hut and stuff. I don't even eat those much anymore. But every now and then I'll have Jimmy John's. But in this area, they try to play games that are saying that they don't they try to swear up and down they don't um sell. I mean that they don't deliver over here, Jimmy John's. So um I don't eat mainstream fast food much anymore. But I don't eat Whataburger. I don't eat Burger King, McDonald's, Popeyes, none of that no more. And here I'm still overweight. But I was, you know, me like being in a hotel room, and I was taking walks and exercising. Uh, but now, like you see, my face is bigger, it's fatter, and I can't even just take a few laps around here because even in October I would try to take a few laps around the hotel complex and being perked and stalked and spied on and people following me and stuff. And so me trying to catch up on the sleep deprivation, trying to rest and then can't rest because all these stressors are in my life. And then but I would like to go and take long walks again. And I don't even know if I should just fight my fears and just go ahead. But then again, feel like, well, if I'm locked in a room, that's the less trouble I can get in. And me being sleep deprived is why I kind of lingered around because it was around 6:30 in the morning when that beating with that girl. Because I usually try to be gone by 6, and I was sleep deprived. So I figured if I stayed a little longer and slept just like for a few minutes longer, 30 minutes longer, you know, but I emotionally beat myself up and wondered, damn, I wish that I would have, got up earlier and that situation wouldn't have happened or I wouldn't have come across her. But I would have people come by me harassing me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and just for an excuse to wake me up out of my sleep, not because they want to really. I mean, you want to wake me up out of my sleep and ask me nonsensical questions, but and I'd be like, get the hell away from here, you know. And then they surprised when I cuss them out, because don't get close. I don't want. Don't get close to me. Don't touch me. So I try to stay away from people and stay off to myself and mind my business. And I'll be trying to avoid trouble. You know, but you're gonna deny this gang stalking until or unless it happens to you, or unless you read the symptoms and take it seriously. But I have the desire to want to eat healthier. Um, I would like to eat. I mean, but I don't have the patience to chew fruits and vegetables. But I would rather smoothies. But I still try to, eat my fruits and vegetables. Um, I just have to have patience. I'm not lazy because when I had the raw vegan thing, one time I sat down and just ate a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables, and it took me 3 hours. And so I don't know. I just feel like chewing vegetables is so time consuming and could take you like a whole like hour and a half to chew vegetables. And if you got a certain job to work or something, you can't even start your lunch because it'll take you a whole 5 minutes to chew one bite of carrot. Um, to masticate, chew very well. Um, to chew your food take a long time, and I guess I had been so used to just eat and get my food out the way, and then just go about my business. You know, if they usually take me 20 minutes to eat a normal meal, people won't complain I eat too slow, or they'll But when I was in sixth grade and on that Prozac, people used to say I ate too fast. Um, but last week when I had the pizza, I tried to go for 3 slices. After 2.5 slices, I couldn't go no more. So my appetite has been lighter now. But I don't want to, the idea of being sedentary. And I heard a lot of targeted individuals try to rest from being perked. And they stay locked in their house or apartment all day. And, just wanting to stay out of trouble and stuff. And we can't even enjoy things that we want to, that we stay imprisoned in our own homes. Um, because we just like there would be times when I would go grocery shopping and living in Los Angeles, and then just have an all around bad day and didn't realize it was part of the gang stalking, and then go back home and stay at home for either 1 week or 2 weeks and don't even go outside and feel like I gotta regroup and mentally recuperate in order to calm myself down and before I go back out in society, before I snap and do something weird or go crazy. And I didn't realize that this is part of the gang stalking. Um, but that's what they want to try to make us do when we're peaceful people. And they want to, and the psychiatry alone, I heard, is to turn peaceful, normal people into violent criminals via medical experimentation and psychiatric pills and stuff to turn normally nice people into violent criminals, people who normally wouldn't be violent criminals. And that how they like to experiment and test on black people, like they urging for the black people to take the vaccine first, black people and old people, that they want us to go first. Don't do it. So I finally found the answer for you know how I can lose weight. To But now it seems like with my setup with the microwave and mini fridge, if I had the proper, I mean, just a little more money, not that much, but if I had my own place, excuse me, and enough money to buy organic fruits and vegetables, or had ways to get some for free, like food banks or something, and that will help too. Food banks that give out more fruits and vegetables rather than just expired pastries and stuff, and expired bags of chips, pastries, and cokes. So that would help me lose weight if I had my own place and could prepare and cut up my own squash and cook it on a stove, season it to my liking, but the pink Himalayan salt or something like that. And if I wanted to, I could have the oatmeal, the oats that you soak overnight, and then cook it the next morning. Or I won't have to worry about just eating donuts on the run or something like that. Well, I don't eat donuts on the run much nowadays, but I'm just using that for an example. Um, so I mean, I could have, and I used to wish that I was fortunate enough to afford Vitamix and Ninja and those juicers that the natural health people use, blending and juicing. And so I had some juices today, like some watermelon juice and the uber greens juice from yesterday. I had those. So I feel like my belly is too big and my face is getting fatter. I'm getting fatter, and I feel like I desire to want to lose more weight. Um, I told y'all I wasn't gonna eat the cheesecake today, so that's one thing. I relapsed. Like relapse is more like if you used to be a druggie and you go back on. I mean, and then you stop for a while and then you go back to doing drugs. But I don't do drugs. But or if you used to overeat and then you go to a healthy diet and then you go back to overeating. But backsliding is, you've been conformed to the world and then you go serve Jesus Christ and then you go back to the world and give up faith or something. So I need to fight harder, excuse me, to learn to love my neighbor. I mean, practice and like pray about, loving my neighbor and loving my enemies. I know it seems weird to love and forgive your enemies, but it also takes a lot of strength, and I know I'm not strong enough. And I need to not do the eye for eye, tooth for tooth thing. Um, but I haven't been able to get really any revenge anyway, because if I try any revenge, I could never get away with it. So I can't do revenge to people. I couldn't do revenge to people and then get away with it. People who have hurt me. So I also heard like the reason why I heard that people who have been in cults have eating disorders, and people who've been in cults have eating disorders, and you know I was on those psych meds and in the cult. And I think I learned overeating from the foster sister Joni, but I don't know where she get it from because she used to sneak me and Brandy to the store, and the Kraft family would tell the foster mom about me sneaking to the store. But Joni used to mainly sneak me to the store, and she would be, we would be, I don't know, because Joni would be like, I think it started when Joni was like maybe third. No, Joni was started gaining weight at 9 years old and overeating because Joni used to be really skinny and cute when she was like 8 years old and younger. But Joni was 9 and she started to gain weight. And then she used to send us to the store when she was a little older, like maybe 11, 12, 13, in the Kraft family. I wonder how the hell they used to catch us every time and go tell the foster mom. And Joni would, use money that she would babysit Kyle or Juju or any of the other babies, in the foster family. They used to have Joni babysit and they used to give her money, like maybe $10. And Joni would take all that money and, sneak us to the store on a Sunday morning while the foster mom was at the fake cult Bible class meetings. And Joni used to send me to the store, and Joni would always use me for favors, and then would be selfish and stingy with the food. Well, she made me take the risk of getting in trouble for her, and I would get no thank you, no nothing. And Joni used to use me for favors and treat me like an errand girl or a slave too. I'm not your damn maid, was what she would tell me if I'm not your maid or something like that. If she, if you told her to do a favor for you. And Joni would try to wear my clothes and steal my clothes. And if I'm in the middle of eating dinner and I would go to the bathroom, and then she would drink out my cup when I go use the bathroom or something like that. Why you can't drink your own? But if you ask her for a favor, she'll tell you do it yourself. But the foster family, even the foster mom, the other foster sister, Shelley, and all them would use us for favors and stuff that they can do themselves. But I think, even with me being on the psych meds and in a cult, I think that's where I learned that from. I learned overeating from Joni. I learned to talk about killing yourself from a classmate named Gerald Jackson. He used to run around talking about, I'm gonna kill myself, and stuff. So, but then I heard it's proven that they said, and I don't think Gerald was on psych meds either, but he would act out and say, I'm gonna kill myself. Well, why you want to kill yourself when you're the favorite student, despite acting bad? So, well, I mean, I knew nothing about suicide until Gerald started talking about wanting to kill himself. But then I was in sixth grade, when I used to be very homicidal and suicidal and on that Prozac. And I'm glad I never took any action to hurt myself or anyone else. That even they said that certain foods, that packaged food that we eat, is neurotoxin. That's why people can't get along and short fused and quick to get aggravated with each other. Even remember Prince? He mentioned about the chemtrails, how everybody get along, and then you look up in the sky, and then next thing you know, they're spraying the skies, and then everybody's fighting. There's an interview somewhere on YouTube. If you talk about Prince, I mean, if you see Prince talk about, the singer Prince, who died 4 years ago, he sacrificed his family. Well, Prince is now dead, and so Prince died in the elevator, right? So, well, Prince was a devil worshiper, but then he ended up joining the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult, and that ain't being a real Christian. So, you really can't get out, so you have to join, which Hollywood and entertainment industry is one cult, then you have to join another cult, and you can't even be fully out and a true Christian. A lot of these celebrities are fake Christians who want to be a Christian, and you're still associated with Freemasonry and stuff. So, but the idea of our body, mind, and soul being attacked by food, air, water, medicine, vaccines, everything being tainted and just corrupted. Nothing is real anymore. Um, Spirituality and religion is not even real. The court system is not real. On Whale.2 website mentioned that religion destroys faith and spirituality. The education system destroys education. And basically, the justice system is unfair. And so it's unfair and corrupt. And George Orwell, 1984, uh, let me try to make sure I got this right. Freedom is slavery. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I said it right. Okay, war is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. And uh, let's see, who said this? All right, so they said that Benjamin Franklin said uh, those who give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin said this. So, and I remember in 2011, 2012, and, people speaking against the Illuminati in a New World Order. There was a lady who said, make your own clothes and grow your own food. And, try to break free from oppression as much as you can, much as you can afford to as well, you know. And, and some people say keep the Bible by your side. And, excuse me, the Bible itself said pray without ceasing. And I need to practice to pray more. I need to practice to pray without ceasing. And I need to be a better Berean. In Acts chapter 17, I need to be a better Berean with studying the scriptures every day as well. And being here, it's easier for me to do that, to have the private time to do that, rather than being on the streets. Um, it's harder to have quiet time, and it's the worst to be sleep deprived on the streets and I be feeling like I'm gonna die. Cause, um, well, last night I took an Epsom salt bath and I didn't take my supplement because I didn't want to overdose on magnesium. So I went. I took an Epsom salt bath and went to bed around midnight. And after a while, it was kind of hard for me to go to sleep. But eventually, I went to sleep and woke up around 7 something. I woke up around 7 something this morning. And today was just a normal, regular day for me. Um, Christmas or not, thanks for the keeping me in the hotel room, and because it's gonna be supposed to be 30 degrees tonight, and it's cold enough that I had to have the heater on all day, even though during the day it was supposed to be warmer today during the day than yesterday because it was 45 yesterday, or it got down to 44 yesterday, and getting colder and colder, and then it's cold tonight. It's supposed to be 29 or 30 degrees. And it's 7:34 p.m. right now. And it's 40 degrees right now at 7. And tomorrow it's supposed to be 36 degrees at like the low being 36, and then it's supposed to be 48 at Sunday night, Monday 49, Tuesday 56, Wednesday. Ooh, it's supposed to be kind of nice Wednesday, 70 degrees but raining, and then low 58. But it changes though. The weather will change. And then Thursday is supposed to be raining and high 60 and low 37. Then Friday, high 55 and low 40. Saturday, high 58 and low 42. That's the furthest to go. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, it'll be already January. High 57, low 40. So there's more days this year than last year that they had that cold weather shelter open. This winter is colder. So I know I was just basically, talking about, I can't call it a journey because I relapsed and I'm not skinny, you know, but I've been sedentary not by choice because of me trying to catch up on sleep deprivation and feeling like being in a hotel room all day and feeling like as if I worked an 18-hour work shift straight with no breaks. That's how I feel. Whenever, but I mean, my sleep has been a little bit better. But last night, it felt like my body was trying to overcompensate for lost sleep, and like my heart was feeling super heavy and breathing extra. I was breathing extra hard. It wasn't hurting, but I can tell that my body, like my heart, was trying extra hard to fight to get oxygen. And so that scared me. And I know I didn't have. I mean, I just had the standard amount of that that little big tablet of the Epsom salt thing. you know um but I just wish I can get over this hurdle after January 4th. And I hope that if they don't try to manipulate me or set me up, or hope that girl don't lie on me or nothing like that. I'm just feeling all kinds of things because, as I said, I had just come back from New Orleans in not even 24 hours, and she normally did not saying she's not allowed to, you know, but she was walking down the street and she just chose to go and violate my area on purpose. She never did that before. Some people say that they paid her to do that. Well, she seemed like she was too mentally insane, for real, kind of insane, But she was demon possessed, and unstoppable. So I'm gonna end this topic right here. And thanks for the supporters. Thanks for your support. And even though I know I can count on my hands, I don't have that many. But thank y'all anyway. And I love y'all, and bye.